Very cute.
Are you ready to do this? We're just going to ignore everything behind us.
Do they know their teachers today? They're teaching us?
Yeah, exactly. Your teachers today. Look at the students behind you. Do you want to?
We should
No?
give lots of money. Right?
Okay, we're going to read a story today called Animals Sleeping. What do you already know about animals sleeping? What do you know about animals? They live in different places. What else do you know about animals? They do what? Some crawl on 4 feet, yeah. Some crawl on 2 feet. What do you know about animals and where they sleep? Do you know anything about animals? Some sleep in a tree. Okay. Some sleep on the ground. Well, you know what? We're going to use our information that we already know about animals. Background information. Remember how we talked about that before? What we already know. And we're going to make some connections to the story that we read today. It's called Animals Sleeping. Let's just look at the cover. Let's look at the cover at the picture. And look at it from top to bottom and left to right. So what do you notice? What do you think you see? What else do you see? What? A jaguar? Okay. Ada, what do you see? The branches are spiky. Yeah, they are. Let's turn the book over and we're going to read the blurb on the back.
Can you go point to that as we read it?
Point to the left. There you go. To the words.
The bird sleeps in the nest. The rabbit sleeps under the ground. Where does the boy sleep? Oh, I'm wondering what we might learn from that. What do you think we might find out? And what else do you think? Can you put that together, like in a whole sentence?
Let's go through the book and look at the pictures and see what we can find.
It's a great sentence.
Animals sleeping. Let's talk about what animal is that? A goose. What's another word for goose? Or what's another bird that looks like a goose? Let's look at our words and see if we can find that word that matches that picture of that animal. Swan. That looks like it. Why don't you find the word swan? Put your finger under. You know what, Ada? You go scoot over this way a little bit so Ada has space to her right and space to her left. Swan. All right, let's keep going. That's the swan. Bird. Are you noticing the second word is an animal? Yeah. What's that? Bats. Look at that word. Let's go back to that word for a minute. Remember how we talked about that letter at the end of bat? What does that tell us? More than one. Yep. Okay. Let's keep going through it, Scarlett. Those are polar bears, but let's find a word in our text, in our writing. Does it say polar bears? It just says, does it say polar bears? It just says what? What does that say? Just bears. There's no polar, but that is a picture of polar bears, isn't it? All right, let's go to this page. Oh, what is that? What is a koala?
It's in this tree.
It's in that tree.
It eats gummies. It leaves the tree.
Do you know what you're using right now, Ada? Yes, you are, and you're making connections to what this is in the picture. What else do you know about koalas?
They eat a certain kind of leaf.
A certain kind of leaf? They sure do. Do you know what it is?
Gum leaves.
Gum leaves?
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you know that?
We watch nature and stuff.
Is it Is that where you found out, is that where you got your background knowledge from watching? Oh, okay.
So you know what? When you think about your background knowledge and you use it when you're reading a book, it helps you better understand what it is you're reading. And that's what we're doing today. We're using our background information, we're making connections, and it's going to help us be better readers and understand what we're reading. Okay, let's look at this picture because there is a tricky word. What are these animals? They're horses. Where do you think they are? Look at your words and let's see if we can figure out what that word is. They're, Scarlett, you said what? They're at the farm, and you said they're on the what? They're in the field.
How did you work that out?
I skipped around until I found out where it was.
Okay, but how did you work out that was field and not farm?
I almost sorry about the word.
Oh, okay. It is field.
Eva, do you see field? Where is it?
Field?
There you go, field.
Nice.
And what are these?
Horses.
Do you see where horses is? It's that second word again, isn't it? All right. Let's go. What's happening there?
Boys sleeping in the bed. It was bed in the bed. Yeah. And it looks like he's pretty excited because
It does. What is the picture of?
the
What was that? You know what? Let's go back to the blur for a second because it asked us a question. There was a question.
Where did the boys sleep?
Do you see that question, Scarlett? What does it say?
It says
What's it asking us, actually?
It's asking where do people sleep?
Well, and what is the specific question asking? What does it say? Yep, let's go to that last page. Does it answer that question?
Yeah.
Where does the boy sleep?
In the
He sleeps in his bed. All right, you know what we're going to do right now? We're going to go through it and we're going to read it. We're going to whisper read it like we do in our classroom, and then we're just going to listen to you read it.
And are we going and where do, you know, I'm wondering, are we going to use what we already know about where animals sleep and where the little boy or people sleep to help us understand the text?
Yes, we are.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, so let's go through and read it. Don't forget what's important before we read the text. We always have to read first so we know what the title. That's right.
Can you read to me?
Ada, let's go back for just a second. What do you know about that?
Can you
So let's
I
say
want to point to the words. Can you point to the words? How do you know that?
Amy, what was that? Okay.
Which one?
You know what? That makes sense that the boy's sleeping in the bed, doesn't it? But let's look at those words again. Remember that word we had last week? In a bed. So let's read that sentence again so it makes sense. Good. He's sleeping in a bed.
So what, I'm just wondering what new information they found out about where animals sleep. So you can ask them.
So what new information did you find out about where animals sleep that you didn't know? Let's Let's go back to that page of the rabbits sleeping underground. So how do you know the rabbit sleeps underground? How can you tell?
Because that's where the rock is, and that's this is the ground.
That's the ground.
Because
Oh,
here are some
yeah.
roots that are under the ground.
So how did that rabbit get there?
He did the hole.
He dug a hole.
So,
Okay.
did you know that rabbits slept?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you kind of didn't, you weren't sure where they slept, right?
Yeah.
So that's some prior knowledge, and then you added some new knowledge from the text, right? Wow.
Scarlett, which one did you say you didn't know about? In the snow? Let's look at that.
They made a hole too.
They made a hole.
Hmm.
So you knew that polar bears slept, or did you not know that? You did not know polar bears
okay.
slept? So now you do. What did you already know about bears, Scarlett? They do have warm fur. And now what is something new that you learned? And where do they sleep? They sleep in the snow. They build themselves a den, don't they? Go ahead, Ada. They don't sleep on the ice. How do you know that? That's amazing.
Yeah, so you added something you already knew, and now, what new, did you gain any new information from here about where they sleep, or did you already know that? So some background knowledge, and then you add on some information from the text about where they sleep, so we've got even more information. Wow. So should we just wrap it up?
Yeah.
So what did we do today as readers?
So today as readers, we took information, Eva, that we already knew, our background information, our background knowledge, and we read a story, a text, and we put new information with that so that we can know even more about animal sleeping.
So can we go around and think of one new thing that you learned today that you didn't know before? You two just said something.
I never knew that frogs slept in the water.
Okay,
I never knew that bears slept.
okay.
I never knew that koalas have big trees.
Really? Good job, okay. So why do we need to think about what we already know about a subject or a topic before we read? What does that help us do? Yeah, but it might help us what? Understand what's going on in the book. Did you know you can do that with all books that you read? You can think about what you already know. And when you read, you can put that information together that helps you understand what you're reading. You do that all the time. You are three great teachers.
Thank you so much.